And now, Death Valley Days. Howdy, folks. I'm the Old Ranger, and I have another interesting true story for you about the historic Death Valley country. Mention Death Valley, and the first thing everybody wants to know is, what about Scotty? What was he like? Did he really have a secret gold mine? So tonight I'm going to tell you the true story of this legendary character, who for over half a century kept the world gaping and guessing. Death Valley Scotty. It is the year 1888, and there's a new swamper on the big team hauling borax out of Death Valley. A husky young fellow by the name of Walter P. Scott. 3 years ago, he'd run away from home in Kentucky. Been knocking around the West ever since, on his own. Now he's got this job swamping. But young Scott has ambitions far beyond that. Someday he's going to be rich, find a gold mine, build himself a castle like the castles in storybooks, with a tower and a moat and a dungeon. Will this dream ever come true? How?
Something about Death Valley, once you've been there, gets in your blood. Take me. I worked out there for just a few months, way back in '88. Then I joined up with Buffalo Bill's Wild West show as a trick shooter and rider. Toured before the crowned heads of Europe. Where do I head back to now? Death Valley.
What are you going to do when you get there?
Prospect. I'm going to find me a gold mine, the likes of which no one's ever located before. It'll be so rich, the whole world will be talking about it.
You've been traveling with press agents too long, son.
You don't believe me, but I'll show you. I reckon you think I'm crazy, too, don't you? Bragging like this.
Not when you've got your whole life ahead of you to make good.
Sure, I'm only 27.
That's just my age. But I've only got a few weeks to live.
Consumption?
No. Train wreck. My father was killed outright. My back was broken. I told him that if I had to die, I'd like to die out west.
Why die at all?
Would you care anything about living if you knew you could never walk again?
I'd get up and walk. Oh, I'm sorry. You're talking to a man who's never had a sick day in his life.
No wonder you feel you could lick the world.
The carry-all from the sanitarium is here, sir.
I don't want to go to a sanitarium. Be surrounded by doctors and nurses.
But you need care, Mr. Johnson.
Would you?
You mean, will I ride herd on you? Sure. I'll take you into Death Valley with me.
Death Valley?
You can make it on a spring wagon. A blanket on the ground under the stars. Meals cooked over a wood fire of pinyon, mesquite. Mountains all around. Millions of years old. And silence.
Thanks. By the way, my name is Albert Johnson.
I'm Walter Scott, but you can just call me Scotty.
A wonderful place, Death Valley. Just one short year of Scotty's way of life in the desert brought to Albert Johnson the miracle of complete healing.
Tired? No. No, I just want to take one more look back at that view so I can visualize it when I get back home.
Home?
I'm going back to Chicago, Scotty.
When?
Now. I got no excuse to stay out here any longer. I'm cured, thanks to you.
But I thought
It's time I got back to work again. After all, I got a business back there. You got business out here.
Business?
That gold mine you're going to locate.
Oh, yeah. Well, stay out here. We'll locate it together.
No. Now, you're the prospector, Scotty. My field is insurance. There's gold in them thar hills, too, you know.
Johnson, I hope you strike it.
If I do, just remember we're partners.
That goes both ways. If I find my gold first.
Thank you, Scotty.
And so each one went his own way. Scotty to prospect in the wilds of Death Valley. Albert Johnson to occupy an executive's desk in a Chicago skyscraper. Worlds apart, these two in every sense, yet their trails destined to cross again someday, when one or the other of them had struck it rich.
I'm all Scott at Death Valley. I want to get to Chicago in record time.
There's a train leaving Los Angeles at 5 o'clock.
I said record time, mister. What's the fastest anybody's ever done it up to now?
Why, the Peacock Special back in 1900.
58 hours.
Well, fix me up with a train that'll get me there in 46 hours.
Mr. Scott,
Clip 12 hours off the running time.
it'll mean clearing the entire Santa Fe system.
Disrupting traffic.
It'll cost a fortune.
Name your poison. No, I ain't robbed a bank. I got a gold mine. Richest gold mine in Death Valley. How much?
$5,500.
1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. 500. And here's another 2,000 says you can't make the run in less than 46 hours.
The Santa Fe doesn't bet, Mr. Scott.
When do I start?
Be at the depot at 12:30 next Sunday afternoon.
Good. And don't forget, I wear a second sock.
As headlines blazoned the news throughout the country, the Coyote Special started its 2,265-mile race across the continent from Los Angeles to Chicago. Scotty himself did the firing most of the way. No Pullman car for him.
They're certainly covering ground just past through Barstow. Taking curves at 65 miles an hour, hitting up to 96 on the straightaway. They've crossed Raccoon Pass and are on the Great Plains. They covered 203 miles in 194 minutes. That's an average of 63 miles an hour. Did you hear that? They hit a speed of 106 miles an hour.
World's record.
Exactly 44 hours and 45 minutes from the time he left Los Angeles, Death Valley Scotty stepped from the train in Chicago. A record which was to stand for the next 20 years.
Whoa, fellas, put me down. I want to make a phone call. Hold my dog, will you?
He's wearing a coat made of $1,000 bills.
Sure. Matches complexion. Yellow pup, yellow backs. Made the coat myself. I want to call my partner in Chicago here, Mr. Albert Johnson.
Why, it's $500. The city phone call's only a nickel.
That's all right. Keep the change. Yeah, I sure had that train flinging cinders. And when I got here, they carried me into the depot like a conquering hero.
Sounds like you really had a time for yourself, Scotty.
I sure did. Put your dough away. This is my celebration. A money burner from Mojave. That's what they call me.
Yes, sir.
A live one from Funeral Mountains. The Quartz Locking Bar. Bring me a roast beef bone.
Did you say a bone, sir?
Yeah, a nice big prime roast beef bone. And make it snappy.
Yes, sir.
I don't know who's getting more enjoyment out of this, Scotty, you or I.
Oh, by the way, did I tell you? As we raced through Barstow, I chucked a bottle of champagne onto the platform, right where we first met.
You said then that someday you'd have the whole world talking about you, remember?
Yeah, I sure got a pretty good start, haven't I? Oh, thanks. Just right. Here you are, Goldbug. Keep the change.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
You certainly are free with your spending, Scotty.
Why not? Heck, I found a gold mine. Well, sure been nice seeing you again, partner.
You're not leaving so soon.
Yep. Can't stand big cities. I'm making tracks back to Death Valley.
Sure stick in a rough country.
I'm getting a belly full of trailing them. My canteen's empty and my hide's cracking.
He's got to lead us to water sooner or later.
Well, better be sooner. I don't care if it does mean find his gold mine. I can't take much more of this.
I told you to have to lead us to water sooner or later. Hey! Look out!
I don't believe it.
I wouldn't if I was you.
Is this your idea of a joke?
I don't joke with bloodhounds. Nearest water hole from here is Mesquite Springs, 30 miles south. I'd advise you to start backtracking pronto.
This water ain't poisoned. He's bluffing.
Sure. I'm only bluffing. Go ahead and drink it. Or maybe you better let your horse try it first. The old man might as well be dead himself as to lose his horse out here.
The world continued to be mystified by Scotty and his gold mine. Wherever men gathered, it was a popular topic of conversation.
I hear Scotty's back in town again, Mr. Kane.
Oh?
On another spending spree. Understand he paid $50 for a haircut today.
Where does his money come from?
His gold mine.
Oh.
Gold mine? Heck, he's got no gold mine. That's all a fake.
Whiskey. So I'm a fake, am I?
That's my opinion, sir. Digging up the facts on things is my business.
Oh, a newspaper reporter, eh? Well, just what facts have you dug up, Mr. Kane?
Number one, there's no record of you ever filing on a gold claim in your district. That whole country's been combed from end to end, and nobody's ever found so much as a hole in the ground that gold could come from.
So it's a hole in the ground you want to see, is it? All right, I'll show it to you.
You mean you take me to your gold mine? Why this sudden decision?
Well, if you must know, I've got to go out there anyway with my partner, Johnson. Got to see about starting big-scale operations.
Big-scale operations?
Yeah. It's getting to the point where I just can't go on peeling off all that gold by myself. Oh, you married?
Why, yes.
Any youngsters?
Yes, 2.
Plenty of insurance?
A little.
Well, I'd advise you to get a great big policy.
What are you driving at?
Just thinking of your family. Going into Death Valley's no picnic. Hotter in a furnace this time of the year. Why, man, in a pinky condition could keel over. Just like that. And if the heat don't get you, the Indians might.
Indians?
Yeah. The Paiutes are on the warpath against me. Claim my gold belongs to them. Try to dry gulch me every time I go in there.
You mean kill you?
Kill me dead. Almost got me 2 weeks ago. Thought I was a goner for sure. They jumped me all of a sudden. I didn't have a chance to run. So I had to shoot it out. I don't know how many there was, but they came at me from all directions. Mister, let me tell you that there's nothing that'll make your hair stand on end quicker than a pack of wild, yelping Indians out after your scalp. I figured they had it this time, and so did they. But I kept pouring lead into them until my guns got so hot you could have branded a steer with them. But for every one I plugged, there was 2 more to take its place. I couldn't even make a dent. Yes, sir. That's the closest I ever come to stepping into the great beyond.
How'd you get away?
20 mule train came along. Swamper and his helper pitched in with me. If they hadn't, the barbers in this town would have lost a mighty good customer. Well, meet me in my hotel in an hour and we'll get started.
You'd better go ahead without me.
What about my mine? Don't you want to see it?
At the risk of my scalp? No, thanks.
At the north end of Death Valley in Grapevine Canyon was an old rundown ranch owned by a hermit known as Old Man West.
You want to buy this place? What for?
I like the location. Has a magnificent view. What'll you take for it?
The view? Oh, that won't cost you nothing. But the ranch? Well, I paid Jake Stenninger $300 for it some years back. But I put in a lot of improvements, like this here shack and such.
Of course, real estate values have gone up since then.
Oh, sure. I really wouldn't want to take less than $1,000 for it.
Sold. 500, 600, 700. Now, how'd that little measly old 10 spot get in there? 800.
The silence of Grapevine Canyon was soon broken by the muffled roar of blasting. Blasting for what? Nobody knew. Any more than they knew why Scotty bought up 70 miles of railroad ties from an abandoned desert line. The 2 partners maintained a sphinx-like silence, which only increased Scotty's importance as news.
You made a fool of me once, Scotty. Now I think you owe it to me to come clean.
What's on your mind?
Same as on everybody's mind. You built a road clear down from Bonnie Claire.
Yep. Quite a piece of road.
And you dug an excavation as big as a dry dock.
2 dry docks.
Well, what in blazes are you doing out there in Grapevine Canyon?
Doing? Why, making jelly. Grape jelly.
Wild grape jelly made by Death Valley Scotty personally.
From my own wild grape. Best doggone jelly you ever threw your lip over. Sorry I can't ask you to sample it, but I'm taking it to the president of the Santa Fe Railway. Drinks all around. For everybody. Nice seeing you again, Mr. Kane.
Don't you know you'll never get the truth out of Scotty?
Maybe not. But I know someone who will.
You say that you've never paid an income tax, Mr. Scott.
Of course I ain't. How can I be expected to pay on something I ain't got?
You claim you have no income,
That's right.
and yet you charter special trains.
That was way back in 1905, brother.
And you've been spending money like water ever since.
Ain't no tax on water, is there?
Mr. Scott, what is your occupation?
Prospecting?
What do you live on?
Hopes. Like all prospectors. Ain't no tax on hopes, is there?
Then how do you explain this castle of yours
Castle?
in Death Valley?
Oh, I got a piece of land up there with a shack on it.
But no castle?
Every man's home is his castle, mister.
Mr. Scott, you may string the public along, but you can't string Uncle Sam. I'm going to Death Valley myself and get to the bottom of this.
Do that. And I'll give you some of my wild grape jelly. Ain't no tax on jelly, is there? Whoa. Right here we made our deal. Remember? Almost 30 years ago.
And the world still can't figure it out.
Even if you told them, they wouldn't believe it. It's too darn simple. Just a couple of partners, each of us sharing what the other one's got, whether it's nothing or everything.
If you ask me, Scotty, I'd say we both had everything. Death Valley has been very generous. It's given me my health. And it's provided me with a lifelong hobby and plenty of laughs.
Thanks. I've tried to put on a good show.
Greatest one-man show on earth.
I reckon Death Valley has given me all I could ask for, too. My name in headlines, money to burn, even the dream I used to have when I was a kid, riding along on the big wagons. Even that has come true. Death Valley Scotty's castle.
It was like the castles in storybooks, with a tower and a moat and a dungeon. The tower has a set of solid silver chimes, and there's music also from a $50,000 pipe organ in the music wing. The gateway leading to the courtyard swings on hinges that cost $3,500 a pair. There are fountains of jasper, fireplaces that burn railroad ties as logs, rare furnishings from all over the world. Over $2.5 million went into this fabulous place overlooking Death Valley. Where did the money come from? Did Scotty really have a gold mine? The best answer I can give you is in Scotty's own words.
All this, you see, is just the tail of the kite. Find the kite, and you really got some.
Howdy, folks. I'm the Old Ranger with an exciting new story of real life in the Old West. There are some things you can't explain, and this is one of them. It happened way back in the 80s, but folks in that part of the desert still look up at the sky, times when the moon is young and a pale haze hangs over everything, and wonder to themselves about the dogs of the mist.
Cold, honey?
Oh, someone just walked over my grave.
You should have worn a coat.
Oh, we're almost home. Aren't we?
Don't you know?
Everything seems so unnatural in this light. Even familiar landmarks.
Like your own husband.
Steve, look. Over there by the corral.
Bobcats. I got them both, I think. Won't radar stock again the sons of guns.
Be careful, Steve. They may be only wounded.
Well, Florrie. Those ain't bobcats, they're dogs.
Are they dead?
Old Toolie Joe's dogs.
Who's Toolie Joe?
A desert rat who hangs around here when he ain't off prospecting. I wouldn't have done this for anything in the world. Those dogs were like his children.
What's the matter?
Something tied to this one's collar. Sample of ore.
And a piece of paper.
Something written on it. Struck gold, shot myself by accident. Bring help, boys, we'll show the way. Toolie Joe.
The boys?
His dogs, that's what he called them.
Maybe there's directions on the other one.
Hurt bad. Follow the dogs. Follow the dogs. It's the only way of getting help, and I've killed them. I couldn't sleep all night, thinking of Toolie laying out there in the desert somewheres, waiting.
Well, nothing to do, I guess. Get a posse together, go out and look for him.
Yeah, we'll take along Indian George. He's an expert tracker.
Well, I'll stand the cost. That's the least I can do.
The dogs was headed in from which direction?
Well, I think across the salt flats.
Well, that gives us something to go on.
Well, I'll see if I can round up Doc Garvey. If Toolie's hurt bad, he'll need a doctor.
We'll meet out front in half an hour. Oh, I'd better take these over to the assay office. Show them to Alec. Might give us a clue.
Oh, well, good. Anything that can help us find him.
I thought you might have come across something like it before.
It's gold, all right. Which is more than most of old Thule's samples turned out to be.
Well, hi, Doc.
Howdy. Steve Hewitt tells me you'll be needing me on a posse to find old Thule Joe.
Yeah. His ore didn't give Alec no clue at all where we should search. Do you think there's any point in going out?
Well, we've got to make a try for it.
Guess you're right. Better keep those samples till we get back.
I will.
Nothing. Well, we better fan out. We'll meet at Rattler's Bend at sundown. Pitch camp there.
Well, if we don't have any better luck, I'm going home. I tell you, it's hopeless.
Oh, we can't give up and leave him to die.
Chances are he's dead already. Right, Doc?
Well, of course, we don't know just how long ago it happened or when he sent the dogs for help.
Look, we've already wasted 3 whole days. I, for one, have to get back to my store. I'm leaving, first thing in the morning.
I'm afraid I gotta get back too, Steve.
It's no use, Steve.
You're giving up so soon, well, it's like murder.
I wouldn't talk about murder if I was you, Steve. How much had you been drinking that night? Mistaken masters for bobcats.
Well, I'll leave you here. Much obliged to you all.
All right, Steve.
Is that where you buried him?
Huh?
See if I can rustle us up some drinks.
Good. Oh, boy. I sure worked up some thirst in that sun.
Did you find him?
Not a trace.
Nor the mine either?
The mine?
I assayed these samples after you left. You know what they ran? $3,100 a ton.
3,100?
Old Thule Joe really struck a bonanza.
And he never even lived to record it.
You mean he's dead?
Well, we don't know, but his chances of surviving are pretty slim.
3,100 a ton. I'll be glad to pay you for the assay, Alex.
Oh, no need.
It's only fair, since half the claim would be mine anyhow. I grub-staked Thule Joe. He come in day before he left and stocked up.
How come you never mentioned this before?
I was all fired bent on finding the poor guy. Do you have the report there?
Oh, yeah.
Let me have it.
You got a paper says you grub-staked him?
I always grub-staked Thule. We never bothered signing nothing.
Well, if Luther's entitled to half, and I'm not about to argue about it, well, I feel I'm entitled to a little something, too. For all the claims I recorded for him, for free. He always said it was a debt. He'd pay me someday when he was in the chips.
You kept track, huh?
Well, I can estimate.
I can help you. Because for every one of those claims you recorded, there was an assay I ran for him and paid for out of my own pocket. I wasn't going to bring the matter up, but since the rest of you seem to be getting in your licks, I might as well.
Oh, why not? You know, a doctor's in a rather peculiar position. He expects to do a great deal for charity. Well, I never charged Toolie Joe a cent when I brought him through pneumonia last winter, but, well, if there's an estate, so to speak, I'd like my just due.
Yeah. Sure, Doc. That fumbling fool Hewitt killing those dogs. They could have led us straight to the spot.
We still might be able to find it. Who else you been telling about this?
Not a soul.
Good. We'll keep it among the four of us.
5. Don't think I'm moving in on something I don't have a right to. But you see, I gave old Toolie Joe the lumber for his shack. I never did collect.
Well, all right. There's still enough to put us all on Easy Street.
Well, what about Steve?
What about him?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess you're right.
Better eat your supper, honey, before it gets cold.
I'm not hungry.
Steve, you can't go on like this, fretting yourself sick. What's done is done.
I as good as murdered him, Florrie.
You've been saying that now for a month.
It's true.
Well, you had no way of knowing. I thought they were wild animals, too. In the mist and the moonlight.
Poor devils. Coming to fetch help.
Steve? What's the matter?
Did you hear him?
Who? I don't hear anything.
They're calling, Florrie.
Steve, where are you going?
After them.
Toolie! Toolie!
Darling, I've been so worried about you. Where did you go?
I followed them for miles.
Who?
The dogs. I could hear them, but I couldn't see them.
Steve.
Suddenly the barking stopped. I lost him.
Steve, I'll make you some coffee. You look all in.
You know, Steve's been acting awful funny since the night he shot Toolie Joe's dogs. People tell me they've seen him wandering around the hills in the dead of night. Nothing but a kerosene lantern and sort of a wild, crazy look in his eye.
I've been hearing the same thing for weeks now.
Strange, Alec. Mighty strange.
We're down to our last can of kerosene.
I'll get some next time I'm in the store.
We need wicks, too. I've been reminding you for weeks.
I haven't been in yet.
Why not?
Busy?
Folks don't hold it against you, honey, for killing the dogs.
That's what you think.
They've forgotten all about it by now.
Well, I haven't. As long as I live, I'll never forget or forgive myself.
Toolie Joe was an old man, Steve. He had no family. Steve?
They've come back. I can hear him, Florrie, honest.
I don't hear a thing.
You can hear him now, can't you?
Steve, please.
Same kind of night. A new moon, a mist.
Steve, you're imagining things. There's nothing out there.
I'm going after him.
Dogs are dead. You killed them yourself 2 months ago. Toolie Joe is dead by now. He must be. Steve, come back!
I tell you, this whole Toolie Joe business really has me thinking.
Me too.
Good evening.
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 Hi.
Alec and me were just talking about Toolie Joe. I guess we can chalk it up as another lost mine.
That's funny. Old Toolie not giving any idea of the location when he sent for help?
Well, I guess he has so much faith in those dogs of his.
Did it ever occur to you that Steve Hewitt might know something we don't know?
What do you mean by that?
Those messages were on rough scraps of paper. Easy enough to tear part of it off.
If he knows where that mine is.
Mind you, I'm not saying he does.
Well, has anybody seen Steve?
Some folks said they saw him wandering around the hills at night. But personally, I haven't seen him for weeks.
Me neither.
He ain't even been in town.
Well, evening, Mac.
Oh, howdy.
Hello, Mac. Have you seen Steve Hewitt lately?
No. Don't believe I have. Could be he's avoiding us.
Could be he's prospecting. I suggest we pay a call on Brother Hewitt. Tonight.
Tonight? What for?
Gold, maybe?
Steve,
Evening, Miss Hewitt.
Oh, Mr. Pond.
We come to see Steve.
I'm sorry he's not home.
You going to town?
Well, he was called out.
You expect him back soon?
Oh, I really couldn't say.
Mind if we wait?
Well, it might be quite a while. Last time...
Oh? He goes out quite often like this, huh?
Oh, no, he... Just now and then.
He go on foot?
Alone?
Please. I'll tell him you were here. If you'd care to leave a message...
I think we'd better wait.
Well, you shouldn't have waited up for me, honey. What's all this?
Steve, you wouldn't be trying to double-cross us, would you?
What's that supposed to mean?
The rest of us have claims to that mine. I own half of it, because I grub-staked him.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Toolie Joe's claim. Where is it?
I wish I knew.
Don't hand us that.
You just come from it.
No.
Then where did you go?
I just went out.
Where?
Just out.
In the desert?
Yes.
Why?
Looking for Toolie?
A dead man? You're lying. You've been out digging gold. You go out regular. Your wife told us.
No. No, only when he hears...
When he hears what?
Nothing.
Steve, where is that mine located?
I don't know.
Where is it?
I swear I don't know.
Stop it! Stop it!
We'd better leave now.
I think we better.
If you'd have left me alone, I could have choked it out of him.
You'd have killed the one man in the world that could show us the location of that mine.
All right, then. How are we going to find it?
We'll keep a watch on him, night and day.
Especially night.
We'll trail him wherever he goes.
We're working shifts.
All right, then. That's what we'll do.
Steve, you buried those dogs yourself, 3 feet underground.
Why do I keep hearing them?
You don't, dear. You've just let the whole thing prey on your mind.
Are you trying to tell me I'm crazy?
Darling, promise me you won't go out there again, please.
Well, you do think I'm crazy.
It's just that I'm so afraid one night you'll follow them and never come back.
What's he stopping for?
Think he hears us?
He hears something.
Lord, I couldn't have lasted much longer. I think both legs are busted.
He'll be all right.
Lift the coach. This man's a doctor.
Easy. It's nothing serious, I'm sure.
What in God's world ever brought you out here at this time of night? I don't know.
I guess you could say it was a miracle. I was praying it was Thule.
Thule?
Well, he's dead. I know that now. But I did get a second chance. I don't know what brought the others. Agreed. We're sorry, Steve. God rest your soul, Tilly.
Here in the Goldfield News of Nevada is a full account of our story tonight. The lost mine still remains lost, one of the great mysteries of the Southwest Desert. If it weren't for the fabulous samples of ore wrapped in a man's shirt, folks might think it never existed. But from that day on, Steve Hewitt was a man at peace with himself. He'd squared his debt, and the dogs of the mist never barked again. And now, Death Valley Days. Howdy, folks. I'm the Old Ranger, and I have another interesting true story for you about the historic Death Valley country. Reading, writing, and arithmetic, the 3 R's. But in the mining camp school at Ubehebe, which is the scene of this story I call Dear Teacher, there was a 4th R. R for ruction. And how?
Quiet! Quiet! Stop it! Stop it this minute! Quiet! Quiet in this room! Order! Quiet! Hey, stop it!
Just starting your eye for you, Jim.
You young hoodlum, you.
Morning, Jim.
Morning, Alex.
Morning, Alex.
Doggone you!
Tomorrow they'll be back again in school.
Oh, that's right. New teacher arriving, eh?
On today's stage.
Heavens help him. Hey, how come you're the reception committee today? A man with no kids in school, and you're not even married.
Well, I happen to go to Cornell University, and this fellow hails from there.
Easterner, eh?
Nobody around these parts would take the job. Evan Prentice, class of 93. Prentice?
I'm Miss Prentice.
Well, not the new school teacher.
Yes.
But the wire said... I thought, of course, that we expected a schoolmaster.
The name is confusing. I'm always receiving letters addressed, Dear Sir.
Well, suppose we go where we can talk more easily. Which is your luggage?
These 3.
By the way, my name is Alex Gaynor. I'm superintendent of the mill.
How do you do?
She won't last half a day. She won't even open school.
Mr. Gaynor's absolutely right. Be like throwing the Christians to the lions.
The children can't be that bad.
They've run 7 teachers out of town already.
8. You can count the notches on the desk.
It's very kind of you to be so concerned about my welfare, but I can't go back now, and I need the position. So in spite of everything you say, I want to try the teaching.
But, Miss Prentice,
Please.
could she have a room here with you, Miss Doty?
Well, I don't usually sleep, folks, just eat 'em. But, all right.
Oh, thank you.
You have a lot of courage.
So did the early Christians, but the lions finished 'em just the same. Oh, go on right in. I'll be with you in a minute.
What does she look like?
Kite size.
You gonna break her spectacles, Tiny?
She don't wear spectacles.
She doesn't. But she's old, isn't she?
Nope, she's young.
Young.
And pretty.
Pretty.
Good morning.
Good morning, dear teacher. Good morning, dear teacher.
Good morning.
The last 3 teachers left with only 5 legs and 4 eyes between them.
Aren't you awful?
Take your seats, please. We will begin with a morning prayer. Bow your heads, please. Every morning mercies new fall as fresh as morning dew. Every morning let us pay tribute to the early day. For thy mercies, Lord, are sure. Thy compassion doth endure. Amen.
Our women.
We'll begin with taking the roll. Then we'll arrange classes. Gladys Murtaugh?
Present.
We will proceed with a roll call. Thomas Ruggles?
Here?
Richard Sloat? Richard Sloat?
Here.
Jeannie Simmons?
Present.
Have a busy day, Mr. McEwen?
Very busy.
Then you must be hungry.
Thank you.
Well,
Just why.
Well, how did things go?
Very nicely.
I was thinking of you all day. Nicely.
I think they're going to be an interesting group to work with. Stimulating
That's a new word for it.
and most responsive.
You mean you had no trouble with them?
It's all in the initial approach.
Do you hear that, Miss Doty? They behaved.
Just like a cat playing with a mouse. Just wait. Potato?
If I were you, I'd arm myself with a ruler. A good big one.
Oh, I couldn't strike a child, Mr. Gaynor.
I'd like to speak to the teacher.
What is it?
You know very well what it is. You couldn't keep a thing like that a secret very long. She threatened the children with a gun.
A gun?
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. Gladys came home and told me. Fired it, what's more. Point blank.
I was just trying to break up a ball game. The boys wouldn't stop, so I aimed at the ball.
And what did you hit?
The ball, of course.
In midair.
Well, I'll be everlastingly.
We got an Annie Oakley with us.
Gladys was still shaking with fright, poor lamb.
I'm sorry, but I'm sure there won't be an occasion to do it again.
There had better not be, or we shall take our children out of school.
Morning, Miss Dennis. Morning, teacher.
I know it isn't the proper thing to do, but in a case as serious as this, I would suggest that you
I've
go...
already looked. It isn't in her room.
It isn't?
No.
Are you sure?
Positive.
Then she's taken it to school, and she'll use it on the slightest provocation. That's a dangerous woman for you. If I was you, I wouldn't have an easy moment with her under the same roof.
We bring you something, Miss Prentice. A present.
Cartridges? Oh, dear me.
We bring you these so you could put on a shooting match for us.
You brought me these so I could put on a shooting match for you.
Yes'm, that's why we brung them. Will you, teacher? Please?
Certainly not.
At recess. I'll let you shoot this out of her mouth, teacher.
No.
Oh, Miss Prentice.
This is a school, not a shooting gallery. We've got lessons to learn. Spelling, geography.
We'll learn them. Honest.
All right. You do, and then we shoot.
When? How soon?
Well, see the end of each week. But only for those who behave themselves and gotten good marks. Now, pass out the study books and we'll get to work.
And she has a whole desk full of ammunition. Isn't that so, Gladys?
Boxes and boxes of bullets.
Makes me wish I was back in school again. Why, our old cross-eyed school teacher couldn't have hit the side of a barn.
Won't you ever take anything seriously, George? Suppose she suddenly decided to point that gun at Gladys.
She won't. If Gladys behaves herself.
She's got an awful funny look in her eye. I think she's kind of crazy.
Do you hear that, George? She might go berserk.
Now, don't start using words I can't understand, Delia. Remember, I didn't get beyond the 5th grade. Maybe she'll hold evening classes for blokes like me.
Maybe you go hunting with us sometime. Yeah, I know there's a lot of rabbits. And quail, too. I bet you wouldn't miss a one.
Thank you, boys. See you tomorrow morning, bright and early.
Bye.
Hello.
Got a meeting out of your hand with your little gun, haven't you? You know, they didn't give courses in marksmanship to co-eds when I went to Cornell.
It was my father who taught me. He used to take me out to the lake on Saturdays. We'd practice for hours.
That's funny for a girl.
He'd always hoped for a son. That's how I got the name I did.
Heaven. Well, if you had been, you wouldn't have been here now.
No, I'd be back home, trying to help him salvage something from the crash. He lost everything in the panic last summer.
I'm sorry.
No. That's why I'm so grateful for this opportunity. There aren't many openings for teachers middle of the year.
Well, I'm sure you'll make good.
I hope so.
I'll help you any way that I can.
Thank you. I need friends.
Pop, what are you doing with those bottles?
None of your business.
You selling them to the junk man?
No.
Then what?
Ah, shut up. And don't come tagging after us.
Why not?
Because we don't want you, savvy? Maybe we should get some tin cans, too.
Too easy. Even bottles ain't much of a target for a shot like her.
Come next Saturday, we'll set them up way off in the back fence.
And stick candles in them, and let teacher put them out, one by one.
Yeah. Ping, ping, ping.
Come on.
What does a person's breath smell like when they've been drinking?
Smell your father's sometime.
Well, I like that.
I thought so.
What do you mean you thought so?
It's just like hers smells.
Whose?
The teacher's.
Miss Prentice? Miss Prentice? George, did you hear that?
Oh, I don't believe it.
If Gladys says so.
Children imagine things.
Of course, it could have been a sarsaparilla bottle she was hiding.
Where?
In the stove at school.
You saw her?
Please, Mom, I'm trying to do my spelling.
I'm going over to Miss Doty's for a few minutes.
Some more pie, Mr. McEwen?
Say it again, Miss Prentice, so we can learn it.
Multiplication is vexation. Division is as bad. The rule of 3 perplexes me. And fractions drive me mad.
That was a good one. I like that. Come on, let's have some more. Let's have some more. Come on.
I just learned something more about our dear teacher. She drinks.
Drinks?
Gladys saw her hiding the bottles.
Well, I never.
George refuses to get excited, but I think it should be investigated.
It certainly should.
Will you go with me?
Right now.
Just like Gladys said. General Grant.
There's a whole bunch of them in there. You don't suppose that they could have been left there by some of her predecessors?
Oh, no. Gladys saw her putting them there.
She must have been having regular orgies.
This settles it. She'll have to go.
A school teacher who packs a gun and drinks.
I'll circulate a petition among the parents.
The mothers.
Naturally. Won't be necessary to mention it to the men.
And I shall give her notice to vacate her room.
You mean I'm going to have to find another place to live?
That's what I said.
I don't understand.
You will before the day is out.
Come on, Gladys. I'm going to school with you this morning.
Mama, I don't feel very good all of a sudden.
What's the matter?
I've got a headache and a sore throat. Maybe I better not go to school this morning.
Well, not if you're coming down with something.
I hate to miss.
It won't matter much.
George, I'm going to drive over to Ruby Valley with those engineers from Denver. I won't be back till evening. Well, I'll tend to things. Well, school's still keeping. Why not? Well, I understand they're having some trouble. The women folk are up in arms about the teacher. That ridiculous gun business? More than that. There's talk about, well, there's some claim she tipples. That's a lie. I don't believe it myself, but you know how women are once a rumor gets started. Who started the rumor? Search me. Well, I'll make it my business to find out as soon as I get back.
Bow your heads. Every morning mercy's new, fall as fresh as morning dew. Every morning let us pay tribute to the early day. For thy mercies, Lord, are sure, thy compassion doth endure. Amen. Good morning, Mrs. Murtaugh. I hope Gladys isn't sick. I noticed...
She is, but that's not why I'm here. I think this document will explain itself.
What in the world? We'll begin with penmanship this morning. Take out your pencil tablets. Children! Children! Children, there will be no school this afternoon. Is Mr. Gaynor in?
He's away, out of town.
Oh,
I'm his foreman. Anything I can do for you?
no.
Is there any message you'd like to leave?
I'm afraid not.
Was something wrong? Oh, I say.
Unfit to teach the young. What do they mean? What do they mean?
Now, don't upset yourself.
But it's so awful. My first position. I'll never be able to get another.
There. Now, we'll straighten it out. Don't you fret. Delia.
There isn't anything you'd stop at, is there?
Miss Prentice. Teacher. It'll be a week tomorrow, and we've behaved ourselves. Yeah, and studied hard. I can name the capitals of all the states.
Boys, I'm sorry.
Oh, but you promised, Miss Prentice.
I won't be here tomorrow. I'm leaving.
Leaving? You mean for good? There won't be no shooting match? Why? What's happened?
I can't explain it, but that's the way it is.
Is she really leaving?
Has she bought a ticket?
Where's she going? What for?
Oh, quit pestering me.
Why's she leaving all of a sudden?
Oh, don't act so darn innocent. It's all you kids' fault. You drove her to drink.
That ain't so. Miss Prentice don't drink.
No? Well, they found the evidence. Bottles hid in the school stove.
Bottles? Those was our bottles. How'd they know they were there? Gladys, she met us, remember? I'll bet she followed us, a little sneak. Yeah, then blamed it on Miss Prentice, just to start something. Be just like her. Come on.
What is it, Tiny? Please tell me.
No, sir, it's a surprise. Just wait, you'll see.
Tiny says you got something for me. What is it?
A rattlesnake. Tattletale tit, your tongue shall be split, and every little dog in town shall have a little bit. You seen us put those bottles in the stove. Said they was a teacher.
No, I didn't. I didn't see you put them in there. I never said a word.
You tell the truth or I'll let this out.
You wouldn't. You're just fooling.
You think so?
No.
Then fess up quick. You did spy on us.
Yes, I did. Don't let it out.
And you made him think it was Miss Prentice.
Yeah, let go.
It's going behind the wood box. We'll get it later. We ain't finished with Gladys yet. Come on.
Where's Miss Prentice?
I don't know. She come by the express depot and asked me to pick up her bag.
Miss Doty here?
No, she's gone over to Murtaugh's.
If you were my child, Gladys Murtaugh, I'd take you over my knee and beat the stuffings out of you.
Her father will take care of her when he comes home.
Here he comes now.
Oh, Mr. Gaynor.
Where is she? Where's Miss Prentice?
Over at the school getting her things.
Of all the cruel, unwarranted...
You can save your breath, Mr. Gaynor. We know the truth now. Gladys has just confessed.
And what's more, she's going with us right now and apologize.
We all owe her an apology. Come on, Mr. Gaynor. I'll tell you all about it on the way over.
I'm sorry I lied, Miss Prentice. I'll never do it again.
Ask her to forgive you.
Please forgive me.
Don't move, Gladys. Don't make a sound.
A bullseye. Shot the head clean off of it. Gee, we got our shooting match. Let me pick it up and show it to Miss Prentice.
Oh, please don't. I can't even stand to look at it, Snake.
What she needs is a good stiff drink. I could use one myself.
From that time on, they dropped the R for ruction from the Ubehebe school curriculum, and indeed from the whole community as far as dear teacher was concerned. And now, Death Valley Days. Howdy, folks. I'm the old ranger, and I have another interesting true story for you about the historic Death Valley country. Picture a desolate mountain region peopled by cattle rustlers, horse thieves, and desperados. Somewhere in the heart of it, a rich silver camp, and you have Limbo County in the early 1880s. That's the setting for tonight's story: death and taxes. Young Bud Payson, green as a cornfield in his native Kansas, didn't know that Limbo had the reputation of being one of the toughest counties in the Southwest. But he learned in 3 easy lessons.
He had sand in his craw, but was slow on the draw.
Roll over, stranger. You're blocking my egress.
Doggone the doggone. Saloon's closed, temporary. Doggone it, Sheriff. This has got to stop. Curly Bill smashed darn near every bottle in my place. And him not even a regular customer.
You're elected sheriff to enforce law and order. I'm doing my best. You've got to do better. As mayor of this town, I demand action.
That's what we pay taxes for. And speaking of taxes, does anybody collect from Curly Bill and the rest of that gang?
Collect taxes?
They're residents of the county, ain't they?
They are, and rolling in dough.
No reason why they shouldn't be assessed the same as us honest folks.
Do you realize what you're saying? It'd take a whole posse to go into that outlaw country. Then send a posse. You know very well I haven't one deputy to my name. They've all been killed or run off.
Well, replace them.
Nobody will take the job.
Maybe you don't want the job of sheriff another term. Well, there's an election coming up, and if you don't give us honest folks protection, there'll be a new man behind that badge.
Such is right. The people need protection. And if you can't get any deputies, then by gosh, I will. Oh, excuse me.
That's all right.
Hey! Stranger in town, aren't you?
Why, yes.
Come with me. Here's a deputy for you.
Well, that was quick work.
Can you ride? Shoot?
Yeah?
Swear him in, Sheriff.
Now, wait a minute. This is a boy and a complete stranger.
My name's Bud Payson. I'm from Kansas.
A tenderfoot. Just looking for objections. I don't believe you want a deputy.
I have to make a few inquiries.
Curly Bill and his gang don't. They shoot first and ask questions afterward.
Well, I'd like the job if you'll have me. I need work.
This is all that's left of the last deputy I had. You still want to wear it?
I'd rather take a chance on being shot than starve to death.
Now, raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear to uphold and enforce the laws of this territory under the powers vested in you as a deputy sheriff, so help you God?
I do.
How's your new deputy?
Well, he's pretty good at shining his badge.
The mayor sure pulled a rabbit out of his hat. Nabbing him for you.
Rabbit is right. Not even dry yet behind his pink little ears. Seems like a nice kid. Sorry to see him take the job.
Well, now that you got him, what are you going to do with him?
Put him to work, just like you and the mayor demanded. Only I'm hoping comes the first showdown, he'll turn tail and hit leather back to Kansas.
I'm open for business again. Come on in and have one on the house.
I gotta get home to supper. I've invited my new deputy. My daughter June will be expecting us.
I'm sure grateful to your dad. If he hadn't given me a job, I might never have met you. I sure hope I make good.
With the job?
Well, I am a greenhorn as a deputy.
You mustn't let folks know.
You don't think they'd guess to look at me?
I think you've got everything it takes.
I'll try to fool them.
Just act tough. Say to yourself, I'm the authority here. What I say goes.
What I say goes.
Anybody tangles with me will get what's coming to him.
We'll get what's coming to him.
You're wonderful. Now just carry out those threats. Be tough. Show yourself a red-blooded man who gets what he wants.
Now, this whole region around here is outlaw territory. You know anything about Curly Bill?
No.
Well, he's the king of them all. And this is his capital.
Goryville? Some name.
I want you to go out there and collect taxes.
Taxes?
It's part of the sheriff's job, and I've got orders to collect them.
But from outlaws?
Well, they're citizens of the county. No reason why they shouldn't be assessed like honest folks.
How do I go about it?
That's up to you. Every deputy has to figure these things out for himself. Of course, if you don't like the job, just turn in your badge and no hard feelings.
Are you trying to get rid of me, Sheriff?
Only for your own good.
You sure it's not because I've taken a liking for your daughter?
You have? I didn't know that.
Well, I hope you don't mind.
We'll talk about that later. It's a long way from liking to getting.
Yes, sir.
Now, wait a minute. You better take this with you.
Thank you. Well, goodbye.
Good luck.
you're a hide mare.
Why do you stare at me like that?
I want to remember you, just as you are this minute.
Anybody think you were going away for a year? Where are you going anyway?
Oh, all around.
It's a nice general answer. I hope you stay out of Curly Bill's territory.
You know Curly Bill?
Of course, by reputation. We've never met socially.
Well, I didn't imagine so.
He has got a girl, though. She comes into town to shop every now and then. Bold as brass with lots of spending money. You're not listening to a word I say.
I'm sorry.
You are going into Curly Bill's territory.
Goodbye, June.
Take care of yourself, Bud.
Howdy.
You lost?
No.
Then what are you doing here?
Well, haven't I got a right to be here?
I asked you a question, stranger.
Well, I thought that was something folks in the West didn't do. However, I don't mind telling you. I'm looking around, thinking of opening up a trading post in these parts.
You're lying.
I'm sorry, ma'am, but...
I thought so. One of the sheriff's men. Will you hightail it right straight back where you came from? Savvy?
No.
This climate ain't healthy for deputies. Someone is likely to pick your badge for a target.
Well, thanks for the warning, ma'am. Now will you tell me something else? How far is it to Goryville?
Goryville? Just keep straight ahead, stranger. And when you feel the blood running down your shirt, you're there.
Goryville. What's the population?
Varies from day to day.
Today, for instance, it's increased by 1. Yours truly.
And by sundown, it might go the other way.
You're not trying to alarm me, are you? Lady I met on the trail was full of warnings, too.
Must have been Evita.
Evita?
Curly Bill's girl. She's the only female hereabouts.
She's a good looker.
Not so loud. Curly Bill gets jealous mighty easy.
He's around here?
Right over there in front of his office. Well, that's about it.
What do I owe you?
$2.
A robber like the rest of them.
Fellow's got to make a living.
Well, just that much better for the tax collector.
Tax collector?
Fellow who collects the taxes. Well, somebody does, don't they?
Mister, this is outlaw country. There's only one man in the world who could collect taxes here, and that's Curly Bill himself.
I believe you're right. Home a horse for me, will you?
If I couldn't steal a better-looking horse than that, I'd give up the business and get a job. I'll give you $5 for it. Well, where did you come from, little boy?
Limbo.
Looking for somebody?
You.
Well, take a good look, because it may be your first and your last.
Oh, why, we've met before. I was the fellow who was blocking your egress the other day at the Limbo Saloon.
Oh! You admired that expression, huh?
There's a lot of things I admire about you, Curly.
You hear that, boys? The kid admires me.
I've got a proposition to put up to you.
Nothing illegal, I hope.
No.
Let's walk over here where we can talk private. Some of these fellas I wouldn't trust. Well, what's your proposition?
I'm a deputy.
Sheriff must be getting pretty hard up.
He's given me the job of collecting taxes in this region.
Collecting taxes? He must be plumb loco. Why, Sonny, you haven't got a prayer.
That's why I've come to you. You're the kingpin around here. You're the only one who can help me do it.
Let me get this straight. You want me to...
Make the rounds with me. Help me collect.
Of all the gall. You know what you deserve? As a lead slug right in that fresh mug of yours.
Will you help me, Curly?
You've got gall. You've got guts, too.
Yes, by gosh, I will.
Curly,
Hello, baby. You got back in a hurry.
did you see him?
Who?
There's a deputy from Limbo on the prowl.
Deputy, huh? I thought they were all dead.
This is a new one, young, green as grass. They're the worst. Rush in and start shooting without knowing what they're shooting at.
Don't worry, Vita.
He was headed for Goryville.
I know. I just had a drink with him.
What?
Celebrate our partnership.
Partnership?
I made a deal with this guy. He and I are going to collect taxes hereabout.
Collect taxes?
From every doggone cattle rustler and horse thief in this territory.
It does not make any sense.
Sure it does, baby. Him and me will collect in the name of the law. And then, you and me will enjoy the receipt.
Curly.
Who is it?
Bud Payson.
I don't know you. What do you want?
I'm from the sheriff's office. I'm collecting taxes.
Taxes? Well, you come to the wrong place, my friend. I ain't got nothing to pay taxes on. Why, I'm just a poor rancher trying to keep body and soul together.
Mind if I, look around?
I sure do. Now, you make tracks out of here before I blast you out. I ain't paying no gol darn taxes to no gol darn deputy sheriff for no gol darn county.
Oh, yes, you are, Cuddler.
Curly, what are you doing here?
Seeing if this young deputy collects what's owing.
Yeah, but I don't know nothing. I got nothing.
Put him down for 250, bud.
250? But I'm broke, I tell you. Why, I never paid taxes in my life.
Well, then we'll slap on another 500 for arrears. And another 50 for pointing a gun at an officer of the law.
Why, you...
Be quick about it. We got a lot of calls to make. We can't lollygag around with you all day.
You're $20 short.
But you clean me.
No weaseling now. Work up that last double eagle. Write him out a receipt, bud. We got to keep the county record straight.
Thanks.
Looks like a stage holdup. Only neither.
6 more calls and we're through. And then I can head back to town.
I bet you got a girl there.
Well, that's right.
Couldn't be the sheriff's daughter.
Well, how'd you guess?
Prettiest girl in Limbo, if you like the pink and white type. You know her, Curly?
Nope.
Curly makes such flying trips into town. Now, me, when I go, I stay and shop. Feel a shopping spree coming over me right now.
Keep your hands off.
Just a little advance.
If you need spending money, I'll give it to you. But these are county funds, a sacred trust, to be used for public improvement for the common good.
Sure, Curly.
Will you be going into Limbo in the next day or two, Evita?
Maybe. What can I do for you?
Give a message to June. Here, I'll write it for you.
I'll see that she gets it.
You're June. Yes. Got a message for you from your deputy friend.
Bud? Oh. So far, so good. Bud, how did you get this?
From him.
Where is Bud? What's going on?
Don't worry, sweetheart. Your precious tax collector is safe in the hands of Curly Bill.
Curly Bill?
Tell me! You sent him out there to collect taxes?
I didn't want to, but somebody has to do it.
Why? Nobody's ever done it before.
I know, but it's part of this job. Just ask the mayor and the merchants. They're the ones that yelled for it. Said I wasn't fulfilling my duties. An election's coming soon.
So, for the sake of a few votes, you'd send a man to his death.
June.
That's what it amounts to, murder.
But his message says everything's going all right.
Written at the point of a gun, most likely. Father, how could you?
I didn't know you cared so much for this fella, honey. Why, you only just met him.
That's all it took. I love him. I love him.
It's hot enough, Dutch. Slap it on him.
Benton, I'm Deputy Pace.
You don't have to introduce yourself. I know what you're here for.
Well, good. That makes it easier.
Easier for what?
You're the last man on my list, Mr. Benton.
You can cross my name off your list now, because I ain't been buffaloed into paying any taxes.
But you owe it to the county, sir.
The county, huh? You think the county's gonna ever see hide nor have any of that money?
Why not?
Because Curly Bill's collecting for himself.
That's not true.
Well, you big sucker. You just wait till them saddlebags are busting with money, then he'll turn around and rob you. I know Curly Bill.
So do I. And as far as I'm concerned, he's on the level. He's a swell guy. He's gone out of his way to perform a public service. The county officials ought to be grateful to him. I sure am. Your assessment, Mr. Benton, is $350.
The shoe's on the other foot now, Mr. Deputy. I'm doing the collecting. Hand over them saddlebags. You going to hand them over peaceable? Or do I have to take them over your dead body?
Curly Bill's not going to like this.
So what? I'm the big gun around here, and nobody tells me what to do. Now hand over them saddlebags. Curly Bill!
This hombre would have plugged me for sure if it hadn't been for you, kid. I said it before, but I'll say it again. You got guts.
Right now, they kind of feel like they're upside down.
All right, Big Joe. Let's get in the shack and patch the kid up. And get the money you owe the county in taxes.
And now what?
His job's done. He's getting ready to start back to town.
Still trusting?
Trusting as a lamb. The only thing worries him is getting back to Limbo with all that money in the game right on. In case he should meet up with outlaws.
Just in case.
So I told him you'd guide him back.
Me?
Explained to him you knew all the hidden trails, secret shortcuts.
So do you.
Sure. I'll be waiting for you both at the old mine with a mask on. So the kid will know who I am and lose faith in human nature.
This is the old mine. From here on, you got nothing to worry about.
Thanks, Evita. It's been real nice of you to go out of your way like this for me. And thank Curly again for me, too. You know, I kind of hated to say goodbye to him.
You may be meeting him again sometime.
I hope. And I want June to meet him, too. Say, maybe both of you could come in and pay us a visit sometime.
I don't think that'll be likely.
Well, after what he's done, After what you've both done for the county, why, I'm sure folks have changed their mind about... Curly!
I thought you was gonna wear a mask.
Yeah, so did I. There's something you overlooked, Deputy. My taxes.
Well, that's right. You know, I clean forgot about you. Thanks.
Never mind. Just get going while I feel like giving instead of taking.
So long, partner.
All right, go ahead and say it. I must be loco.
No, Curly. You are muy magnifico.
Big Jaw Benton?
Bo McDaniel. Slippery Cutler.
William Bricker. $1,500?
Well, that's Curly Bill.
How the devil did you do it, Bud?
Well, that's something every deputy's got to figure out for himself, Sheriff.
I said you had everything it takes.
But I haven't. How can a man make love with only one arm?
You could try.
And from that day forward, Limbo County, like the rest of the human race, could count on those two sure things: death and taxes. Howdy, folks. I'm the Old Ranger with an exciting new story of real life in the Old West. Our story today is about the first, the most talked about, the most written about, yet the least known about of the early California outlaws. From his mountain hideout, he carried on the exploits that have become part of our colorful Western lore. That man was Joaquin Murrieta, the Eagle in the Rocks.
That is quite a big reward. Oh, congratulations, Joaquin. They raised the price on your head from $5,000 to $10,000.
That's very flattering.
They are blaming you for the massacre of the 5 miners near Sonora.
Well, naturally. Even bad weather is laid at my door.
It is a good thing that your door is well hidden and well protected.
That's a lot of money. And so many people facing starvation. It must be a great temptation.
Not for 10 times 10,000 would one of our people betray Murrieta.
Did you bring this?
See?
You did well to bring it. Here. I'll take you back to town.
Oh, it wouldn't be safe for you to show yourself in San Lorenzo.
Nobody knows what I look like. Most people think that I have 2 horns and a tail.
No, I will go with you.
No, Manuel, your hand is practically a calling card.
If you were recognized as Three Finger Jack, they would surely know that he is Murrieta.
I think we should take our men and go into town and kill off the gringos.
That is not our way, Manuel. You know that. Let's go.
I say what I've been saying right along. How much more are we going to take from Murrieta and his cutthroats? How much more than killing 5 innocent miners? I am telling you that now is the time to get rid of that murderer once and for all.
Well, how do you figure to do that, Joe? Well, nobody's ever caught up with him or even knows what he looks like.
There's only one way to do it. Instead of wasting time trying to find that one cave in 10,000 that Murrieta's holed up in, we go after the people that give him shelter. They're just as guilty as he is.
Are you suggesting that the people of San Lorenzo attack all the native Californians in town?
Why not? They got it coming.
Just a minute, Pa. Look, I knew you were fired up on the subject, but I didn't think you'd get around to inciting a massacre.
If they clean out peaceable, there won't be no massacre. Otherwise...
Otherwise what?
Otherwise, we wipe them out.
Looks like you and your boy don't see eye to eye, Joe.
Him and me don't see eye to eye on a lot of things.
Look, those people over on the other side of town aren't bothering anyone.
Hey, you. If you like that rabble so much, why don't you go over to native town and live with them?
Look, it's time you realize that the war with Mexico is over for nearly 2 years.
My boy is forgetting that his brother was killed in that war.
I'm not forgetting anything, Pa. But he was a soldier, killed by soldiers in the line of duty. Now, the people on the other side of town didn't do it.
How come you're always taking sides against me?
I'm not taking sides, Pa. I'm just trying to stop you from doing a terrible thing.
He has courage. I wish there were more like him.
Gotta be coming out soon.
And if he's so much in love with native town, we'll make him a present of it.
Here he comes.
What's the idea?
I have seen this one before. He's a friend. I'll take him to Murrieta.
Visitors are coming, Joaquin. The girl Raquel. She is driving a wagon. I think there is a man in back.
Well, when they get to the end of the arroyo, blindfold the man and bring them here.
I think there is no need of a blindfold. He looks like he's dead.
Have I been out long?
Since last night.
Thanks for the medical attention.
Thank Raquel. She brought you here this morning and patched you up.
Thanks, senorita.
Yesterday, I heard you speak in our defense, Mr. Andrews.
You're Joaquin Murrieta.
Mm-hmm. And you are the son of that rabble-rouser in San Lorenzo who blames me for the murder of those 5 miners. It's no secret that I have an army back in these hills. Right now, it's the biggest army in California. If the people of San Lorenzo try to carry out their threats, we'll have to move in. And I'm afraid a lot of people will get hurt, including your father.
But my father hasn't always been like that. But when my brother was killed, well, Pa took it pretty bad. He's been blaming all native Californians for what's happened to his son.
Many of us lost dear ones in the war, and since. Not all of us can afford the luxury of bitterness.
She watched her father and mother shot down by drunken riffraff.
I'm sorry.
Don't waste your sympathy, senor. It is not an unusual story. Joaquin himself saw his brother hanged without a trial.
We'll talk again some other time.
Senorita? Could I have a drink of water? I wanted to thank you again for helping me.
I would have done the same for any animal that was hurt.
Look, if you're going to hate me for something that a lot of other people have done, including my own father, well, then that makes you just about as narrow-minded as he is.
I'm sorry, senor.
You know, I was wondering, maybe it was the boy's brother who fired the gun that shot off my fingers.
Sure, Manuel, sure. And maybe it was your bullet that stopped him for good. Who knows?
See? You know, I got even with him pretty fast, huh?
I wonder if I could get to the boy's father and try to reason with him, you know?
There is only one way to reason with a man like that. If you win, there are no arguments.
And if you lose?
Se acabó, it is all over. So what is the difference?
Joaquin? His bandages will have to be changed. It is better if I stay here a while.
Are you asking me or telling me?
He needs care.
I think maybe she is sweet on the young gringo, huh?
No. It is not for that reason I wish to stay.
No? Perhaps it's Garcia who's the reason, huh? You have my permission. Manuel?
Si.
Order 20 men to saddle up and be ready to leave first thing in the morning.
Where are we going?
Well, if you can hide your hand, we are going to San Lorenzo.
To San Lorenzo? For what?
To kidnap the boy's father.
You are becoming more famous every day, Joaquin. They have raised your price another $5,000. It's now $15,000.
Life was far less complicated when I was a poor $100 outlaw.
See? Be right with you. Yes?
I came about your son.
What about him?
Maybe you'd like to know why he didn't come home last night.
I know why he didn't come home. He's a young fool.
Your boy didn't come home last night because he was hurt.
Hurt bad?
He'll live.
How'd it happen?
He was beaten up by some of your friends, Mr. Andrews.
What do you mean, my friends?
And some of the people in that crowd you were steaming up yesterday evidently don't like some of the things your boy stands for. That was their way of showing it.
Well, just because he stood up to me ain't no reason to beat him up.
I don't think the beating he took hurt him half as much as your slap in the face.
Where is he?
At my place. I'll take you to him.
Why'd I lock up? Where's your place?
It's back in the hills.
Mine, or is it a ranch?
Neither. I live in a cave. Don't do anything foolish. Did you say something about locking up, Mr. Andrews?
Yes.
Oh, Joe. Where are you going?
These are friends of mine.
Friends?
Well, they're friends of my boy.
The way I hear it, friends of your boy are no friends of yours.
Well, they got some land that I'm interested in, and I'm going out to look it over.
I see. I was just wondering.
Hasta luego, señor sheriff.
Bienvenido.
Where's my son?
How's your patient?
He's better. I think it is only his heart that still hurts a little.
Hello, son. I'm sorry you got beat up. As soon as you're feeling better, I'll take you home.
I'm not going home with you, Pa. Not ever.
Tom, if it's about that slap, I'm sorry.
You just don't understand, do you? You never did understand.
Look, don't go blaming me because you got beat up. You kept your fool mouth shut instead of spouting that nonsense.
If you weren't my father, I suppose I'd hate you. But now, I just feel sorry for you.
What stuff have you been feeding him? What have you done to him?
I? It was you who did it, Mr. Andrews.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, it's very simple. Your boy's ashamed that you're his father.
That is not true. Go on, Todd, tell him. Well, you've been acting real brave, Murrieta. With your whole gang around to back you up.
Not as brave as you, Mr. Andrews, trying to rouse a whole town against a handful of frightened people.
A handful of troublemakers. No wonder you and them are so close. Always helping one another. Them hiding you out, you giving them gold. Stolen gold. Well, I don't know what you plan to do with me. But someday someone is going to get you and your whole rotten army. Then San Lorenzo will be a better place to live.
You're not trying to make San Lorenzo a better place to live. You're looking for revenge.
Well, aren't you?
Well, maybe I am, but not against innocent people. You want to get back at the world, at anyone, because you lost a son in the war.
Fancy words! Too bad they come from an outlaw.
An outlaw, yes, but not a criminal. There is a difference.
Not at the end of a rope.
I'm sorry I brought you here, Mr. Andrews. I thought when you saw what your vicious tongue had done to your own son, I could reason with you. But you're like all the bigots from the beginning of time. A sick little mind poisoned by hatred.
Those innocent miners that you murdered in cold blood would sure be interested in hearing Murrieta speak his piece.
You're sure it was Murrieta who killed him?
I am so sure that I had the price on your head raised $5,000.
Mr. Andrews, we are going for another ride.
What do you want?
Just looking around, if you don't mind.
We do mind. We don't hold with snoopers.
I'm no snooper. I figured on doing a little prospecting. I just want to see how a successful claim is run. Have you had it very long?
Long enough. Get on your horse, mister. We're busy.
Uh-huh. So this is how it's done, huh? Very interesting. The Golden Bell. Isn't this the claim where the owners were killed recently?
What are you after, mister?
The men who killed them. See, I don't like people pinning murder on me. It can give a man a bad name.
Murrieta?
That's right. Now, who's going to be the spokesman?
I'll tell you who.
Up, senores. Up, up. Before you jump, you should see maybe where you will land, huh?
Who's the spokesman? What? No spokesman? All right, Manuel, take over. Oh, this is Manuel Garcia. You may have heard of him. Three-Fingered Jack, he's called. He knows many ways of making a man talk.
It's just a little game. First an ear. Such a nice-looking ear.
No, not him. Him.
Not him. He's got a nice-looking ear, too.
Manuel. Maybe this one.
This one? Oh, these ears already cropped, huh?
The horse thief, huh? Carve out your eyes.
We do.
Tie them up, Manuel. Well, Mr. Andrews, you heard.
He refused to stay behind.
I'm glad he could make it. You've been shouting a lot about killing the murderers of those miners, Mr. Andrews. Well, here they are. Here's a gun.
I'm no executioner.
Mm-hmm. Only against people who can't fight back.
You're right about me. I just now found that out. If there's anything that I can do to make up for what I've done.
You can start by taking those men back into San Lorenzo and seeing that they get a fair trial. And one more thing, Mr. Andrews. The little matter of the reward for the capture of the killers, huh?
I'll give it to my son.
You'll see that you get it. That's good, Mr. Andrews. That's good. Divide this gold among yourselves and give this to Father Jaronta. He'll know what to do with it. Adios.
Adios, adios.
Joaquin Murrieta obviously never sat for a portrait, but there's a whole gallery of pictures of him by various artists, working from memory or imagination. Our own favorite is this painting by Charles Knoll. The original, formerly in possession of the Wells Fargo Bank, hangs today on the walls of the Press and Union League Club of San Francisco. Howdy, folks. I'm the Old Ranger with an exciting new story of real life in the Old West. Back in 1879, an American girl became the singing sensation of Europe under the name of Emma Nevada. She was born Emma Wixom near Nevada City and raised in Austin, Nevada. I guess local pride inspired the name. But if Emma was a bombshell in Europe, New York, and Chicago, her return to Austin had all the effect of a blockbuster. And that's the story we're going to tell. A story we call Emma is Coming.
You have the people of San Francisco in the palm of your hand, my dear. Just listen to them, Emma. They still want more.
Colonel Mapleson, I can't sing another note. I'm worn out.
Come in.
Looks like this country's mighty glad to welcome its own opera star, Miss Nevada.
Thank you.
I've been working backstage for more than 40 years now, and I've heard the greatest. But I'll tell you something, Miss Nevada. Not one of them's got anything on you.
You're very kind.
And this is only the beginning, my dear. Oh, I can't wait until we get to New York.
But I don't want to go back to New York.
There'll be shopping on the avenue for you and rectors and... What?
Not just yet, Colonel. I have a wonderful idea, and I want you to say yes to it.
A blind promise from your manager? Oh, no, you don't.
But this is terribly important to me. More than anything I've ever asked.
What is it this time?
You must promise not to say no.
Break it to me gently.
All right. This letter arrived today from Austin, Nevada, the little town where I was raised.
Ma and Pa Stokes. Who are they?
I don't remember, but look what they say. They'd give anything in the world to hear me sing, and that goes for the rest of the town.
Well, why don't they come to San Francisco?
Instead, we're going to them.
Going to them? This time you really have lost your mind.
You promised. Colonel, I want to give them a concert just like the one we gave here tonight.
Emma, my dear, those miners wouldn't leave their saloons long enough to listen to one aria.
Colonel, those miners knew me when I was a baby. Why, they've followed my career ever since I went abroad to study when I was 15. I'd rather sing for them than for anybody else in the world.
As your manager, I should say no. But you know I can't resist you.
You'll do it?
I'll make all the arrangements. I'll send the staff on ahead and we can follow shortly. Now, don't tell me you're going to wear that in front of those roughnecks.
They've heard about the Queen of England presenting it to me. They'd be disappointed if I didn't let them see it. They're all my friends, Colonel Mapleson.
A $100,000 necklace can destroy the most beautiful friendship, my dear.
You'll change your mind when you meet them.
Perhaps. Why you insisted on traveling by stage when there's now a train, I'll never know.
Stage is what I remember. Gives you the real feel of the country.
You're the two jokers responsible for all these signs.
This ain't no joke. She'll be here tomorrow.
And who is she?
Where are you from, mister?
Oh, I get around. My work keeps me on the move.
Well, you don't get around here much if you ain't ever heard of Emma, Nevada.
The great opera star?
Oh, now what would an opera star be doing coming to this hole?
Because she was raised here, that's what. There's a picture of her. In her queen's necklace. A Queen Victoria, that is.
The night our little Emma sings here, this town's gonna have one of the biggest jamborees you've ever seen.
Better stick around.
I reckon you'll have to miss it. Now Miss Emma's coming to town and you're getting out, Duke Clayton. He might be a stranger to you boys, but he's made quite a name for himself in the territory. He does no more shady dealings and at least 2 known killings.
Why, you know you got nothing on me, and you can't run me out of town for no good reason at all. It wouldn't be legal.
All right, Clayton, but I'm warning you. You try any cute stuff while Emma Nevada's here, and you'll be carried out of town.
Oh, you got me wrong, Sheriff. Why, I'm just a dyed-in-the-wool music lover.
We'll be there in less than a half hour.
The idiots! Why are they stopping out here in the middle of the wilderness? Great Scott! It's a holdup.
Holdup?
Bandits. Hideous-looking beasts. With guns. There are hordes of them. Oh, Emma. If they find out who you are, then they'll hold you for ransom.
Colonel, it's the miners. They've come to meet me.
I see you.
Hey, she's even prettier in her picture.
Wow. Welcome home, Emma. Welcome home.
No picture could ever do you justice, ma'am.
Why, thank you, Mr.
Clayton. Do Clayton.
Must seem like you're facing a whole tribe of bushwhackers, ma'am, but they were all so anxious to meet you. We rode out here to see you. Me included.
Oh, quit gabbing, Sheriff. Let's get her back into town.
Let's get into town.
She's coming! Little Emma Stage is coming!
Clayton, a thoroughbred scoundrel. But we'll see to it he don't trouble you no more. Oh, here's some particular friends of yours, Miss Emma.
It was us wrote the letter.
Ma and Pa Stokes, of course I remember you perfectly.
Why, bless your heart. I picked these this morning from a hill behind your old house.
Thank you very much.
We'll see you at the concert, Emma. Got front row seats.
Well, this ain't gonna look like much of a concert hall to you, Colonel Mapleton, but it's the best we got.
I reckon we could fill it for Miss Emma tomorrow night if it was twice this big.
So this is where Emma Nevada made her real debut.
Yep, right up there. 3 years old she was. Sang the Star-Spangled Banner, wrapped in the flag. Just what'll be the price of the seats?
Ooh. Shall we say 25, 35, and 50 cents, according to location?
Are them the prices you charge when you give concerts in San Francisco or Gay Paris?
No, not exactly.
What exactly do you charge?
From $1 to $5 and up. But seeing that this is Miss Nevada's own town, I suppose we could price it much less, 20, 30, and 40 cents. We could give the concert free.
Look, Tenderfoot, we're paying just as much to hear our own little gal sing as them big city folks do who ain't ever knowed her.
What's all the shooting about?
Oh, Sheriff, am I glad to see you.
These boys are giving you any trouble, Colonel, I'll throw them in the pokey.
Oh, no. No trouble at all. They're just teaching me how to set prices, Western style. 6 bullet holes, that would be a $6 top. Is that right?
Yeah.
Let's make it 10. And I thank you, sir.
These nuggets we paid were for Elmer. When it comes to seats, we'll take what we can get.
Emma.
Come in. How's the house?
Packed with ruffians. They've even sold standing room outside.
Colonel, aren't they wonderful? I've never been so excited in my life.
And I've never been so nervous in my life. Emma, promise me you will not wear that necklace.
Of course I am.
Well, at least I'm glad the sheriff's here.
Colonel, you should be more worried about how well I sing than about the safety of my necklace.
Emma, my dear. I know you'll sing your best.
I will if my voice will come out. My heart's in my throat.
Oh.
Colonel, I must take a peep at the audience.
Well, come on.
What are you doing here?
I'm sorry. I had no right.
Indeed, you didn't.
I wanted to be alone with you. Just once.
Mr. Clayton, I'm due to go on stage in a few minutes.
I know.
Well, please leave at once.
You're even prettier when you're angry.
Perhaps after the concert.
Perhaps. But we both know it ain't likely, don't we? After all the things you heard about me, you're very kind. Him and about it.
Emma? Emma? Are you there?
Yes, Colonel. Come in.
You must hurry, my dear. The sheriff's just starting our introduction.
Yes.
Folks, I reckon this here concert tonight is going to be just about the biggest thing we've ever had in this town. So, I reckon you won't object to me asking you to do just about the biggest favor. To take off your hats. Now, you may catch cold, but me, I may get pneumonia. So we're here tonight to honor our little Emma. So, I guess I'll just have to ask you to take the risk. Thank you, boys, and now I reckon you'll all thank me to get out of here and get the show started. Now, the next person that is coming out on this stage is the greatest prima donna in the world, our own Miss Emma Nevada.
I can't begin to tell you in words how much this homecoming means to me. So perhaps my heart can speak to you through my songs. Beautiful dreamer, wake unto me. Starlight and dewdrops are waiting for thee. Sounds of the rude world heard in the day, lulled by the moonlight, have all passed away. Beautiful dreamer, queen of my song, list while I woo thee with soft melody. Gone are the cares of life's busy throng. Beautiful dreamer, awake unto me. Beautiful dreamer, awake unto Black is the color of my true love's hair. His face is something wondrous fair. Green sleeves was all my joy. Green sleeves was my heart's delight. Home, home, sweet, sweet home. There's no place like home. Oh, there's no place like home.
Oh, thank you. How come you didn't wear your necklace, Miss Emma?
We're mighty disappointed we didn't get to see it.
Yeah, I'd have sure liked to have a good squint at them diamonds of yours.
My dear, you are magnificent.
Thank you.
Sheriff, I thought you and your men were going to keep an eye on things. I just saw that young man, that Duke whatchamacallit, slinking out the back door.
Duke Clayton? Backstage?
Yes.
Well, then he must have got there before the concert started.
Are you sure your necklace is safe?
Yes. I mean, well, of course, Sheriff. I simply decided not to wear it.
Must have changed your mind very quickly.
What do you mean, Colonel?
I did my best to dissuade her from wearing it. Up until just a few moments before she stepped on this stage, she'd remained adamant. I remember now. When I came back to pick you up, you seemed upset. Emma, had that young Clayton been back there? Had he already taken your necklace?
Is that right, Miss Emma? Did Duke Clayton take it?
Sure, that's right. Anybody can tell that from the look on her face.
All right, boys, let's go.
No, my necklace hasn't been stolen.
Get her open, hang that Duke Clayton.
No, stop them, Bart. My necklace is safe in its box, please.
Wait, hold it. Give her a chance to show us. Come on, Miss Emma.
Yes, let's show
Open it, Emma.
We got him! I guess the shots came too close to him. He surrendered without a struggle.
I tried to tell him. No matter what else I might do, I couldn't rob you. Ma'am,
I must admit you were right. Emma, they're wonderful people. And you, my dear, you are a truly great lady. And I can't wait to get you back to civilization.
I have here in my hand a copy of the Reese River Reveille, the newspaper published in Austin, Nevada. Date December 4, 1885. Welcome home, reads the headline. For this is the day that Emma Nevada returned to her hometown to sing for her old friends. Now, the whole story is told here, but there's no need of my reading it to you because you've just heard it. The story of Emma Nevada's greatest triumph.
আমার সুবিধার লোক মনে হইতেছে না কি কইতেছেন আপনি কি কইতেছেন গায়ে হাত দিবেন কেন গায়ে হাত দিও মানে এ বড় গায়ে হাত দিলে কি করবে একদম গায়ে হাত করতেছেন তুই তুই গায়ে দিলে আমি আজকে শেষ করব তুই টাকা দে আমার টাকা দে ওরে আজকে বই
না কোন রাস্তার মধ্যে আইছেন ভাই এই এই আপনি কারে করছেন হ্যাঁ
আরে ভাই আপনারে কই নাই আমার কল দিছিলাম এই কল রিসিভ করতেছ না ওরে কইছি
আমারে কোন মানে এই আপনি নামেন তো নামেন আমি যাব না আপনি কি কইতেছেন হ্যাঁ
আপনি যাবেন না কেন
না আমি যাব না আপনি আপনি নামেন আমার টাকা দেন আমি যাইগা
দেমু না টাকা আমারে না নিয়ে গেলে আমি ভাড়া দেমু না
আরে আপনি কখন থেকে এই অলি করতেছেন আপনার আমার সুবিধার লোক মনে হইতেছে না একদমই সুবিধার লোক মনে হইতেছে না আপনি টাকা দেন আমি যাইগা
আমার সুবিধার লোক মনে হইতেছে না কি কইতেছেন আপনি কি কইতেছেন
গায়ে হাত দিবেন কেন
গায়ে দিও গায়ে দিলে কি করবে একদম করতেছেন তুই আমি আজকে শেষ কর তুই টাকা দে আমার টাকা দে ওরে আজকে বই মোটরসাইকেল করে নিয়ে যেতেছেন ভাই এটা আমার মালিকের মোটরসাইকেল ভাই ভাই মোটরসাইকেল নিয়ে যান না
গাড়ি থামলো কেন?
স্যার একটা অ্যাক্সিডেন্ট হয়েছে।
ভাই ভাই আমার একটু বাঁচান
স্যার
ভাই
পেটে তো ছুরি।
মনে হচ্ছে চিন্তা কি?
হসপিটালে নিয়ে যান ভাই।
স্যার হসপিটালে নিয়ে যাব?
আরে পাগল হইছো এত রাতে থানা পুলিশের ঝামেলা কে যাবে? চালাও গাড়ি।
স্যার যে অবস্থা মনে হয় না বাবা।
ভাই যান না ভাই ও ভাই আমার একটু হসপিটাল
আচ্ছা আপনি ওই দিন আপনার আম্মার সামনে আমার লগে এরকম ব্যবহার করছেন কেন?
আমার ইচ্ছে হয়েছে আমি করছি আর আমার পিছে ঘুরে লাভ নাই।
কেন? আমি আপনার ভালোবাসি না করবো না কেন?
বেহায়া মেয়ে রে বাবা, তোমার তো আমি ক্লিয়ার করে বলছি যে আমি তোমার বিয়ে করব না।
আরে আপনার আম্মাই তো আমার পছন্দ করতো, তো আপনি শাদি করবেন না কেন?
তাহলে তারই বিয়েটা করো।
জি 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 আস্তাগফিরুল্লাহ, কি কইতাছেন? আমি আপনার আম্মারে কেন শাদি করব? আপনারা শাদি করুন, আর আপনি যদি আমার শাদি না করছেন তাহলে কয়ে দিলাম ব্লেড দিয়ে আপনার নাম আমার হাতে লিখুন।
তোমার যা ইচ্ছা তুমি তাই করো, আমি একদমই ভয় পাই না। আগের বার মাইনে নিছি খেলা ছিল দেখা, এটা খেলা না, এটা আমার জীবন। আমি জীবন নিয়ে ছেলে খেলা করতে পারবো না।
আমি হাঁচা হাঁচা কইতেছি, আমি কিন্তু ব্লেড দিয়ে
হাতে পায়ে গলায় মুখে সব জায়গায় যেখানে ইচ্ছা সেখানে লেখো, ইংরেজি বাংলা ফার্সি যেটাতে পারো সেটাতেই লেখো, আমার কিচ্ছু যায় আসে না।
আপনার আমি শেষবারের মতো কইতেছি, আপনারা আর বেশি সময় দিব না, শুধুমাত্র 12 ঘন্টা সময় দিলাম। এই 12 ঘন্টার মধ্যে আপনি আপনার মত বদলাইবেন, নাহলে কইলাম আমি হাঁচায় ব্লেড দিয়ে আপনার নাম লিখে ফেলাম, আমার কেউ আটকাইতে পারবো না।
আরামসে তুমি সিগারেট টানো, বুঝে নাই শান্তিতে, আর ওদিক দিয়ে কাম সারছে।
আরে শুনোস না, ওই মেয়ে তো ডেঞ্জারাস একটা ঘটনা ঘটায় ফেলছে। লেট দিয়ে হাত কাটছে, এখন কি হইব মামা?
ওই মেয়েটা
বস কি মামা? হাত
কেন? ওই মেয়ের তোর কোনো কথা হয়েছিল?
কালকে রাত্রেবেলা বাসার সামনে এসে দাঁড়ায় ছিল, আমার 12 ঘন্টার আলটিমেটাম দিছে।
এই কিসের আলটিমেটাম দিছে রে? হ্যাঁ
আরে ওই বিয়াতে রাজি না হইলে কি জানি।
এই কথা তুই আগে কবি না।
আরে আমি কি বুঝছি নাকি?
আরে না বাবার কি আছে, বুঝোস না, মেয়ে তো একটা ডেঞ্জারাস। এখন যদি কিছু হয়ে যায় মামা, আমাকে তো পুলিশে ধরে নিয়ে যাবে।
আমি কি করছি?
ও আমি কি করছি কিছু জানো না? না ওই বেটা আইনার মারপে জানো, জীবনে তো থানায় তুই যাস না, জানবি কেন? থানায় আমি গেছি। ফোন যে কোনো হলে আত্মহত্যা প্ররোচনকারী যেই হোক না, তার নাম যদি একবার থানায় গিয়ে কয় মামা, তাহলে তার খবর আছে। এখন তুই কি করবি তুই চিন্তা করে দেখ।
কি করছে সব? এই লাইলি বাইচা আছে তো?
হ্যাঁ শুনলাম ও তো বাইচা আছে।
কোন হসপিটাল আছে? আমি যাই একটু দেখা করে আসি।
হসপিটালে যাই দেখা করে? হসপিটাল থাকলে এতক্ষণ তুমি চৈতশিকের ভিত্তি থাকলা, বুঝে নাই? আর তুমি যাই হয়তো বাসায় আছে। এই তুই কি ওর বাসায় যাবি?
তুই যাবি মামা?
হায় রে খোদা, তুমি আইছো, আমি জানতাম তুমি আইবা। আমি লাইলে রে কইছি তুমি আসবা। চ্যাংরা হও আর রক্ত গরম হও, মানুষ তো, তোমার মনের ভিতরে সেই প্রেমটা আছে।
আচ্ছা আমি লাইলির সাথে একটু দেখা করবো।
লাইলির সাথে দেখা করবা?
কেমন আছে ও?
আছে বাবা, আসো আসো, তোমার আমি একটু দেখা করতে আসো।
এইসব কি?
প্লেট দিয়ে তোমার নাম লিখছি, বানান ঠিক আছে?
একদম ঠিক আছে। কিন্তু কি বলো বাইক না, ভালো হয়েছে না? আমি কিন্তু লাইলিতে কইছিলাম যে লাইলি ছবি তুইলা ওরা পাঠাই দে। ভাই কইছে যে না, কিছু জিনিস আছে এগুলো ছবি তুলে পাঠালে সঠিকভাবে দেখা যায় না, সামনাসামনি দেখতে হয়। এর লেগে তো এতক্ষণ ধরে তোমার জন্য অপেক্ষা করতেছি।
এইসব পাগলামির কোনো মানে আছে?
আছে না, তোমার আমি শাদি করব, তুমি আমার শাদি করবা, করবা না?
এই তুমি কি আমার বলদ পাইছো? বলদ এই পাশে দাঁড়ানো লোকটার মতো।
নিলয়, তুমি আমার মামার নিয়ে কি করতেছো?
আমি বলবো তুমি শুনবা। মানে এই যদি তোমার হাত কাটার নমুনা হয়, হ্যাঁ আমি জানলে আমি জীবনেও আসতাম না। আর যদি হাত সত্যি সত্যি কাটতাও তাও আসতাম না, কোনো লাভই হতো না। আমি তোমারে বিয়ে করব না। তোমার মতো মেয়ের সাথে শুধুমাত্র মজা নেওয়া যায়, বাড়ির বউ করা যায় না। তোমার মধ্যে ওই রকম কোনো এলিমেন্টই নাই।
তুমি একটু বেশি বেশি করতেছো না?
এই মাঝখান দিয়ে ঢুকে গেলেন? হ্যাঁ, সাদে কি আপনার মানুষে হাবলু কয়? এর লেগে আপনার হাবলু কয়। আর ঢুকছেন যখন, তখন আমারে না বুঝায় আপনার এই ড্রামাবাজ ভাগ্নিরা বুঝান। আমি ওরে বিয়ে করবো না, আমি মরে গেলে ওরে বিয়ে করবো না। মানে নিজের তো কোনো মান সম্মান নাই, পরিবারের মান সম্মানটা যদি খোয়াইতে না চাও তাহলে এসব বন্ধ করো। সবার সামনে অপমান করবো নাহলে।
থাক ভাগ্নি, তুই কষ্ট পাইস না। হয় তোরা বুঝতে পারে নাই, আর যেদিন বুঝতে পারবো ওই কান্দা বুক চাপড়াইব, তখন বুঝবো যে কি জিনিস হারাইছি। তুই কান্দিস না ভাগ্নি, একদম কান্দিস না। তুই থাক, আমি আইতাছি, দেখতেছি।
Rainbow biết bao nhiêu rồi 11 phút à. Bây giờ 1 phút. Lên. Yes. 600 yen. Cảm ơn tình trạng. Tải được luôn mà, cái này khác biệt. 25, 16, 27, 28, 29, 30 30 à 6 ngày, 7 ngày bạn mà thầy 8 này phải cút về quê anh Nghiện. Yes. Một pet à? Ngủ biết ngủ. Nếp nó bị hỏng nếp rồi. Chết rồi. Đưa cái broke à, nằm đây, một con đầu. Start mình. Đó. Chitana, thông đạo. pháo thủ lại nhé. Tạo lên cái hóa hình sử dụng một combo gì đấy. Bị láp hả? Đã chít nhiều thế, chít một tiền bộ. Tôi chỉ có trang bị à? Chẳng có cái hóa hình ấy. Số nó hình âm tích CV Sivana này, Duy à? Sẽ Duy không? Pico Serwen, Nasser, Beer nhá, xong rồi đến đấy. Đấy. Bảo hộ cho gõ được nha. Theo kiểu mình bắc có thì biết là ai mới ngầu rồi chế thứ gì à? Thứ gì tập kinh trọng chuyển từ chi phạm sang G Dragon rồi không dùng tiền Nami này 2 cái 4 tiền này chết 10 nhá. Đại hiệp nhiều nhất cần hỏi quý danh bố mới đến cho phái tôi lại bớt đề để xem mày ngồi im cho mày lấy trap đây là chiếc bài khác thủ đô xong rủ cô trong thủ đô mày cầm hụt chỉ được cái mạng ở săn chỉ có Olaf mà. Ra chậm tôi là sai để tập tận lời với các sân chơi gia dụng ID cho tăng huyết áp here chơi rap chậm tôi và tập tận nơi để cho tăng huyết áp và miền Nam từ Bắc từ phóng miền Nam Việt Than chỉ có dân Việt Nam ở tá này ở chắc đầu tiên thì quay con yak được ta nhìn xem con biết nào là có một con chim mặt kia một con gấu mà con xanh lá cây rồi bạc dạ con nào ok hết tiền luôn dạ ôi ao 10 nữa mà 100 con pet rồi và tập tận nơi rồi các với cả vụ to tôi sẽ chọn 57 không vợ ai không có cái gì ý. Đưa tay quá đếm mà đây này 40 các bạn 6 quá được cái điểm gì đấy Chúng nó cái sợi con pet à, 4 con nha, 4 con cua nha, 6 con cua nha. Đây nữa rồi. Mấy cái rainbow biết. Trên 10 à? Quá nhỉ. Làm hết mấy cái bọn này. Nha đi farm tiếp. Tôi bắn máu tí đi. 2 con. Rồi. Với cái con chim này ở con chim này cái nhà máy ác gì Nico này được là ủa nó Nami với cả là sất bia rồi đủ với ai lấy đồ tanh sơ thì thôi coi như là lắp vào trong cái sơ đi chứ cơ có cái loại có cái bút cỡ đồ ấy rồi thiếu đốt luôn nhỉ nó có áo choàng nữa giảm ngay kháng phép giảm hưu vẫn lên được nhưng mà không xếp kịp năm ngoài thế này nghe chơi thắng thua làm cũng được 7-6 máu rồi